Welcome everybody to Wednesday night's edition of ESC Fan TV. So glad you can join us for this very special edition about Finland. That's right, Finland have taken part in Eurovision Song Contest 53 times, with one victory back in 2006. We all know about Lordi, of course. Tonight we take a look at their 7 entries which take place this weekend at Uuden Musiikin Kilpailu. Yes! What an improvement on in 3 days from my disaster about Melfest. Thank you for joining us. For those in the chat room, Tom's not with us tonight, so I will be double hatting tonight. I'm going to be on the show and in the chat room. But before we get to the show, we're going to say hello to our panel. We'd like everybody to give you a wave for those in the chat room. Hi everyone, welcome to the show this evening. We've got people here today from Cyprus, from Germany, and from the United Kingdom, but also all the way from Sweden. We're going to get to meet our panel very soon. The rules tonight are very simple. Our panelists are going to present their favourite UMK entries, and you get to vote for who you think should win this Saturday night. Go to menti.com, use the code 5981 59 and 5, and vote for your favourite. We're going to make a start in tonight's show. So 278 entries this year, 7 of which made it to the final. And this is the first entry of them all. This is Oscar and Lie.
You ask me how I'm feeling, but you can see past that light of the old fake smile that I hide behind.
So Oscar is the stage name of Oskari Ruihonen. I probably butchered that, haven't I, from Turku. His music's described as a mix of electronic and classical sounds. This song is simply called Lie, and it's a message that combines a strong patience with an intimate message to a loved one. Let's find out what the panel think about it. Let's going to go to Oben first of all. Oben, all the way from Deutschland this evening. Willkommen, Oben.
Hallo, guten Abend, Europa. Guten Abend.
Good to see you, Oben. Tell us why you like this song.
I mean, when I finished listening the Finnish final songs, I always wanted to do that joke, but it landed terribly. Okay, I'm moving on. One thing I just thought, some of the song had the terrible lyrics game, and some of the song had the amazing lyrics game. And this song was one of the songs that has very meaningful lyrics. That whoever was the songwriter did a terrific job, and I enjoyed it. Like when it was finished, I was like, "Oh, that was short." And this happened to me 2-3 times listening these 7 songs, and I really like it, and I think that this song will make a great finalist in the Eurovision final.
I agree, Oben. I'm going to come to Danny from the north of the United Kingdom. Say, hey, Danny, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Good to have you on. You're a fan of this too. I like this song. I think it's very current, very modern. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I think this is a really good song. I think it's very radio friendly, especially for something in the UK. I don't know, it's just got really good vibes about it. I feel like it's a very polished song, and I can absolutely picture it on the stage for the grand final. Absolutely, I think it's just really well done. It kind of reminds me of the UK song for last year. It's got a similar vibe to it, but just much more friendly on the ear for me personally.
And how do we think it'll be staged? I'm going to come to Marius, all the way from Cyprus this evening. Hey, Marius.
Hi, guys. Good evening. To have a great show. Well, first of all, I'd like to say, guys, that, Finland always has good songs. I mean, every year we have a good selection of songs. It's not always the case that we get the best songs sent to Eurovision. I mean, a lot of songs that are not voted in the end are very good songs that could have done really well. This one in particular is a very current song, as you said. I love the sound. I love the voice. The staging, I really can't tell what he will do, but it doesn't need much, I think. It's that kind of song that you don't need too much happening on the stage. They should get rid of any dancers if they're thinking about that. I don't think it needs anything like that. A good backdrop would be nice. And I think, like other ballads that we've heard from other pre-selections this year, all it takes is a good presence on stage and a good vocal.
I agree. Thank you, Maris. Finally,
Yeah.
I'm going to come to Andy Brooke this evening. Say hello to London. London calling.
Hello, Rakistan.
Rakistan, yes. Back at you.
That's the only word of Finnish that I know. Sorry,
well,
Tina.
I'm going to teach you a fair few this evening. Not all of them in Finnish.
Ooh.
From a musicality, that's the word, musicality point of view, how does this one stack up for you, Andy?
It's a very well-written song, contemporary, solidly performed, right slap in the middle of the thing quality-wise. With Finland, you can never tell what they're going to go for, but except for they never choose the best song. So it could win, but I would be honestly surprised, even for the Finns, if they chose it. Nothing bad to say about it.
So for those in the chat room, keep your comments coming through. If Lie was your favourite song so far, which it should be because it's the first one, but if I imagine you've heard the songs already, get myself out of a hole. If it's your favourite, you can vote for it at menti.com and using the code at the bottom of the screen. 59, 81, 59 and 5. And at the end of the show, we will put the scores on the screen to see who we think or we predict may win on Saturday. We're moving on to Song 2 now. Song 2 is a familiar figure in Eurovision terms. So, of course, Laura's back. We last saw her duetting with Koitun back in 2017. Lost in Verona. Will she be lost in Tampere on Saturday night? Play is described as an irresistible combination of country and but an on and off relationship where one person has become fed up with constantly forgiving the other. Let's find out what our panel have to say about this. We're going to say good evening to Phil and Michelle. I don't know what the hell Andy is doing. Good evening, Phil and Michelle.
Hi.
Good to see you. What are your thoughts on this particular song? And did it kind of get you up dancing a bit like Mr. Brooke?
Not really. It wasn't kind of my thing. I mean, nice enough. Sang it well.
You like the look of it, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Visually, it was very appealing. Yes, but it's just, I mean, nothing wrong with it. Not my cup of tea, I guess. It wasn't Verona, put it that way.
No, and I think in this climate at the moment, the last thing we need is are we going to break up, make up sort of thing. We need a bit of joy and a bit of light. And the only joy that there was that she sang till there's nothing left to show, which quite frankly, you'd have to put Eurovision on an hour later if that was the case. Because there wasn't much left to the imagination there, was there?
Thank you, Phil and Michelle. I'm going to come to we're going to come over to Gustav and say good evening, Sweden.
Hello.
I know you're a big fan of Laura.
I am.
Tell us why.
I don't know. I just am. You know, in this video, she reminds me a bit of Lina Hedlund from Alcazar.
Yeah.
And I like that. But usually I like the ballads and like the slow, meaningful, good songs. But every now and again, there comes a song like this that just makes me want to like dance and feel good for a while. And this is that song. And it helps that it has a bit of a country vibe too, because, you know, it reminds me of Anna Bergendahl, and everything that reminds me of her is good in my book.
You're right. I was trying to wonder actually what it reminded me of. It reminds me of some of Anne Bergendaal's recent Melody Festival hits. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. I think it's a grower actually. The interesting thing about this song is that Laura says that she just recently moved to Finland, hence why she's taking part in the Finnish final. And this is a way of her potentially exposing herself to the Finnish people. So I'm interested to find out, Steve, what's your take on what's your take on Laura exposing herself to the Finnish music public?
Well, this is no Verona, is it? I think she's a great singer. As Michelle says, she's sang quite a lot of herself. But I don't think it actually goes anywhere. It starts off okay, but it doesn't really go anywhere. So I think this one, it's not a bad song, but I think it'll just be left behind at the end, to be honest.
Yeah. And Andy, what kind of performance should we expect from Laura, do you think, Saturday night?
Well, I think she should just stand there and sing it, because she's not the best live performer I've ever heard. But I just take exception with this idea that there's anything country about the song. I mean, even by Eurovision standards, it's not really country, is it? I quite like it. The first time I heard it, I didn't like it at all. She puts me off because she's got quite a hard look to her. But actually, I grew to like it. I do like this one. I just don't necessarily think it's the right thing for Eurovision, and probably not the right thing for Finland to choose.
And finally, Marius, could we see a position where that Laura could surprise on Saturday night? Is this a potential qualifier?
I doubt that. I don't think so. It's a good song. But as Andy said, I heard it the first time, didn't really like it. Second time around, interesting. Bit of my head going like that, but I don't think it stands out that much. And you know, we've seen her before. I loved Verona. I mean, I was so gutted that song didn't make that final that year. But I question her live vocals all the time, and that could be a problem.
Thank you, Marius. Right, so that's Laura's play. If she's your favourite, make sure you vote for her at menti.com, 5981 59 and 5. You know the drill. I'm not going to say it again. It's going to run down the bottom of the screen all evening. And beyond that, if you liked tonight's show, make sure you give us a like, click the subscribe button, but most of all, make sure you ding a dong our bell. Very important that you ding a dong our bell. We love it when you give us a good old ding. We are going to move on now to song 3. And song 3 tonight is the first in Finnish. Here we go. It's Kelle mai soitan. God, I clearly butchered that, didn't I? Let's take this. Alta's 22 years old. She's a Finnish-German singer-songwriter, and she's had a fair old few hits in Finland. This is a touching ballad described as a concrete depiction of what it's like to be living with loneliness. Steve, can I come to you first on this one? How do you see this being performed Saturday night? We love a ballad on ESC Fan TV. We've seen a lot of them of recent times, and how do you envisage this might be performed?
I think it's she will quietly sing it, but I speculate whether there'll be sort of balletic backing dancers or some kind of dreamy background or something. I don't know, but I think she's got a terrific voice, really good range,
yeah.
And I'll be very interested to see how she performs it live, and kind of little reminiscent of Ulrika in Norway last year in terms of it's not quite so high in terms of the range she goes up, but I think it'll be interesting to see how she performs it, and I think it could be one to watch. I think there's probably a clear winner in this selection. We'll come on to that later, but if that doesn't get performed terribly well, I think this could be one to watch.
It's interesting you say that, because in fact the voting on Saturday night is 75% public and 25% jury this year. That's a swing of 50% last year to 75-25 this year. So that's quite the change. Interestingly as well, she's 7th in the Spotify charts. So it's one of the highest entries. In fact, there's only one that's higher, and we'll come to that shortly. Gustav, this is a beautiful ballad. We know you love beautiful ballads. We've learned that over the years at ESC Fan TV. Where does this rank in the 7 for you?
This is my winner. It's I have no idea what she's singing about because I don't know Finnish. But I don't need to know because it just grabs me and I feel everything, even though I have no idea what I'm supposed to feel, and that's a great ballad. And her voice is beautiful; it's stunning. So this is clearly my winner. Are you even surprised, Stuart?
I'm not surprised, not in the slightest. It sounds very Swedish as well, so I'm not at all surprised that you like this one. Andy, coming to you. We've heard 2 ballads already. We're about to hear a third with Danny shortly. Which of these 3 ballads is the best for you and why?
Oh, that's a hard one. I would just say that the Finnish public tend not to choose a song in Finnish because they think it's not going to do well in Eurovision. So the ones that are sung in Finnish are at a disadvantage no matter how popular they are with the public at home. And this is a song about loneliness, so it's going to have to be performed appropriately. So there's going to be no balletic dancers in the background, and she's fairly young. I think she's maybe a little bit too young to be singing a song like this, but it is a beautiful song. But I think the song we're about to hear is the best of the whole lot.
Thank you, Andy. And finally, we're going to go to Germany and talk to Oben. I think he's back from his technical difficulties. Can it come in, Oben?
Stuart, I was not going to reveal my color tonight until the end, but since already we've heard 2 of the panelists revealing their winner, I think there's no secret here. I mean, even I am a huge fan of like showgirls, upbeat pop songs, dance performances. This is by mile my winner of the night. I mean, like every now and then, very rarely, I use this terminology. I don't know what was the last time I used it, but I live for cultural orgasms, right? Even though this music and this song is not really culturally Finnish, the lyric, the word, she's singing it in Finnish, makes it connectable for me with her culture, with her people, with the Finnish music industry or whatever. So I really, really, really, really want to see this coming to Eurovision final stage. And I promise, I here pledge myself for the Finnish public that I will be voting the Eurovision final if you send this song. For Finland, not just in any other country, but for Finland.
What the endorsement. Thank you, Oben. Thank you very much for that. We've seen some of the comments in the chat room. I think there's a lot of positivity for this song. So if it's your favourite, make sure you vote for it. We're going to move on now to the 4th song of the evening. Oh, no, actually, do you know what? I want to get the other side of the other Cypriots view. I want to go all the way to Cyprus and talk to Marius. Marius, sorry about that. I almost forgot you off the list there. Tell us what you think of this song.
Beautiful song. As Oben said, it's a really nice song. But again, it's in Finnish, and I think they're quite aware of that. And if this was 50-50, 50 jury, 50 televote, it would have a higher chance. But as it's going to be 75% of televoting, I think the votes are going to fall to a different song. But I think she will do a really nice performance. She's very young. She can always come back, and I can see her going to Eurovision in a few years when she's more mature, and maybe with a song in English. Who knows?
Exactly. Right, let's kind of a bit more up tempo. Let's have the first dancey song of the evening. This is the Teflon Brothers featuring Pandora. So that was I Love You. The Teflon Brothers featuring Pandora. Come to Pandora in a minute because you may recognize her, but they are a Helsinki-based rap group, and they've released over 5 albums already. They've got reasonable recognition as well. They're quite well known. This is actually the favourite to win now with the bookies. And if you are recognising or looking at Laura, if you're looking at Pandora even and thinking to yourself, I recognise her from somewhere, well, those who are fans of Melody Festival will remember her from 2003 and 4. This was her latest entry in 2004, Runaway, and this was the year before with the song You. And if you don't remember those, but you just remember her, you can, of course, go and check them out on YouTube. They're still there. I don't know if Gustav remembers them. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, slightly unforgettable in Melody Festival in terms that is. So Teflon Brothers featuring Pandora and I Love You. Coming to Steve first. Steve, we all know you love a banger. Why is this a favourite of yours?
It's a guilty pleasure, this one, isn't it? It's one of those things when you first look at it, you think, oh my God, those lyrics. But it's so catchy. And I think this is going to do really, really well in the final. And I just think it's so catchy, and it's an earworm. It's an absolute earworm, and they'll perform it really well as well. So I'll be interested to see how they're going to stage it, but it'll be kind of probably fairly similar to the video. But I think this is one to watch. I really like this. I shouldn't, but I do.
Yeah, it is a bit of a guilty pleasure. Danny, I'm coming to you. This is actually 4th on the Spotify charts of Finland. I have to learn how to speak, I think, later. Could this be a huge advantage going into this final, given that 75% of the vote will be public this Saturday night?
Yeah, I think that'll definitely work in their favour. I think the main thing they've got working against them is that I just don't think it's that good. So I'm not convinced that it will get lots of votes, because I think there's a lot of other big songs that will draw in votes from the Finnish public. So I'm not really convinced on this one. I think it's okay for a bit of an up-tempo kind of dance around tune, but yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just not doing it. I don't know. I think there's something missing. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but yeah, I'm just not convinced. I think the show will be good, though. I think they'll put on a good performance, and I think it'll be a good one to watch for sure.
Thanks, Danny. Phil and Michelle, how do you envisage this being performed? What can you visualise on stage on Saturday night?
Oh, there's going to be some big hair, isn't there? Because it's an 80s throwback. It'll be glorious. A nice big do on somebody. I don't know. It's all going to be 80s inspired, isn't it?
Yeah, lots of jumping about. It's a bit sort of Barbie girl, isn't it?
No, it's not. You're an idiot. No.
Oh.
No. As a child of the 80s, I think it's brilliant. So if the Finnish public that vote are 40-year-old women, you should be laughing.
But really, it's not that great, is it? It's
I love you. What's not to like?
Well, there is that. And as you said, though, Teflon is a registered trademark.
Yes, I think Teflon is a registered trademark, so and that they wouldn't be allowed to be called the Teflon Brothers. They may have to change their name due to Eurovision rules.
PTFE Brothers.
Yeah, if they PTFE Brothers. Yeah, if they win. Yeah, there is that.
But yeah,
there should be more words in it. Technically, I think.
Yeah,
there is a lot of repetition.
I love you. It was great at the beginning. It sort of drags on a bit.
Yeah,
towards the end.
First 10 times I heard it, I thought this is brilliant. But then I thought, well, maybe there should be more words in it. Yeah.
But it's all right.
I love it.
Yeah, you can't complain really.
No, it's good. It's a nice, cheery, dancey one.
Thanks, Phil and Michelle. Marius, coming to you. In the recent weeks in Norway, we've seen Blasmafian come out of absolutely nowhere to win their semi-final 1. And with a very similar sounding tune, that was performed amazingly live on stage. And in fact, it was the performance which essentially took it through. Can you see something similar happening here with Teflon Brothers and Pandora?
Well, I absolutely agree with you about Blasmafian. I mean, if it wasn't for that great performance, I don't think it would have gone through. As far as this one, I'm hooked. I mean, to be honest with you, I listened to the song first time today, and after 15 seconds, I was like, I love you, and it was just like, it got me. Now, it's not the best song, of course. It's a happy song. It's a good song, and it will have to rely on staging. I don't know if, as Michelle said, maybe we need some hair, maybe we need some craziness on stage that will elevate it. But this is a real contender. I mean, this is not a masterpiece by no means, but it's very rare we get masterpiece at Eurovision, isn't it? So it could do really well, and it might shock, yes.
Thank you. And finally, we're coming to Andy. Put your wine down. There's a good boy.
Oh, well, a drink helps with this song. So they shouldn't choose this, because if they do, they'll get the floor wiped with them by Roop.
Oh, you see it in a similar vein to the Roop, do you?
Yeah, I do. But it doesn't have the same quality. And Michelle, do you think you could organise some extra words from that French song that had too many?
I'll email somebody now.
Because it's a little bit repetitive in the chorus, and not just repetitive, but repetitive with "I love you." I mean, goodness me, no, it's shit. Sorry, I'm not allowed to say that in case there are any Finnish friends watching it. But no, it's really no. Don't go there. You've got much better songs in the competition this year.
It's 7th in Spotify and favourite to win. It looks almost certain right now. I guess we'll find out.
But they always choose the wrong song. Always.
Well, we've got a returnee coming shortly as well, so we'll cover that. Song
we do.
5. Song 5. If those 4 were your favourites, you can vote for it at the code at the bottom of the screen. We're going to put up the end of the show and, on screen to find out who you voted for. Song 5 is Danny. And we're going to talk about Danny shortly. There's lots to say about Danny. The song, God, here we go. The song is Siinä päivänä kun kaikki rakastaa mua.
Sen verran tahtoisin matkaani tyyliin, nostakaa minut mustan mersun kyytiin. Sinä päivänä kun kaikki rakastaa mua.
I thought I did a right job at pronouncing that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Danny, legendary Finnish singer. He's been around since the 1960s. His entry is about how life is a gift, and now how you can never be sure how long it will last. He's also Finland's answer to Hugh Hefner, having dated last year's second place Finnish singer Erika Vikman. Phil and Michelle, you've asked to comment on Danny. Why do you want to comment about this? Hopefully it's positive. What do you think of it?
Oh yeah. Well, you know, normally I'm a bit against like a bit of doom and gloom
and ballads
and ballads in general. I quite like this. I watched it with the English subtitles on, and it was really clever how he did it. It's on about his funeral and what he wants and stuff like that, but he sort of did it with a wink and a twinkle in his eye. And he said, like, oh, we don't want the pap. Don't let the paps there, you know, and all this.
And if that one tramp's coming, make sure she's not invited.
Yeah, don't let that tramp in. Because, you know, all the people at his funeral are going to know who the tramp is. They go, oh, look, the tramp's turned up. And I think it's really well done. I think everybody should write a song like this about what they want and have a laugh with it. But I want to know what's in his diary. Well, because he said, like, you know, don't read it out. Burn me diary. Don't read it. And it's like, yeah, you're going to read it. There's something good in that diary.
I think it's a little out of date. I mean, you really should say delete my browsing history. But yeah, I recommend, seriously though, if you watch this on YouTube, put the closed captions on if you don't speak Finnish.
Yeah, you can get it in English.
And read the English lyrics, because it's a beautiful song.
I think I agree with Phil. So yeah, mark the date again. I think I liked it as a beautiful song. I don't think it'll go anywhere. But I think as a one-off standalone piece of artwork, I think it's beautiful.
And I'm not a ballad lover.
Thank you very much for your comments. Let's go to Danny. I've got to go to Danny. He doesn't know I'm going to speak to Danny, but I've got to talk to Danny about Danny, haven't I? It's written in the stars. Danny, tell me about Danny.
He's got a great name, and that's where it ends for me. I think. Oh, what do I think about this song? I think the fact that it's about his funeral is pretty explanatory of how I feel about this song, to be honest. I don't know, have you ever been, like in a bar when some old guy just sits back and starts getting out his guitar and playing, and you're like, shut up, no one needs this. That's the vibe I'm getting from it, to be honest. It's just a bit, yeah. I'm being a bit harsh tonight, aren't I? I feel like I need to calm down.
No, I'm just visualizing being in a bar and some old guy getting his guitar out and just visualizing Andy in the corner over there. And talking of
Well, at
which,
least it would only be my guitar. You'd be lucky about that.
it's not that kind of club.
How do you know? I think it's a beautiful song, by the way. I didn't expect to like it. My Finnish friend suggests that she hopes it doesn't get chosen because it won't do very well at Eurovision. But I love it. I think it's really nice. It's completely different to any of the about 5 million songs that he's tried to get to Eurovision with before. So it can't do worse than in the past. I think it's very nice. And he was going out with Erika from Eurovision last year. Goodness knows what she saw in him. And he's got a new assistant, which is equally gorgeous. So he's obviously got something going for him.
Thank you,
You
Andy.
didn't ask me, did you? Never
No,
mind.
I wasn't. Oh, no, I wasn't going there. But he's obviously a jolly nice fellow. Let's go to Germany to Oben. Oben, beyond the things that Andy just said, this is a really sweet and beautiful song, isn't it?
I was waiting for my turn to come for this song. It's like this song just gives me life. I mean, the Finnish language check, the old dude, perfectly sugar daddy material, and then this is another. What was that guy's name? Humperdinck Engelbert or something like that, the UK representative.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yeah, that one. Sorry, that one. Everybody's hearts melted when he was on the stage. And yeah, he's not gonna win neither the national final nor the Eurovision final, but at least he will give us a good, nice, soft, calm, lovable, fluffy, puffy 3 minutes, right? And that's all we need these days. I really, really, really, really, really liked it. Not the musical reasons, but the emotional reasons.
I take offense at him being called a sugar daddy because I'm a sugar daddy. He's a sugar granddaddy.
Well, I see you being sugar, but not yet daddy.
Oh, thank you. So kind. I am coming on the firm's trip, by the way, Stuart, after that.
Are you all right, you two? Hang on a second. There we go, sorted. Sorry, Steve. Oh, hang on a minute. We'll have to drop him off the show in a second. Right, we're moving on rather fast, especially after that. We're going to move on to the 6th song of the evening. And this is a bit different. This is Blind Channel and Dark Side. So, Blind Channel, if we cast our minds back just some years ago to 2006 and remind ourselves that rock can win Eurovision, we're kind of there again. This is a fabulous entry in Finland this year. They've been around since 2013, Blind Channel I refer to, and they're pretty well known. In fact, they're well known internationally. They'll perform new metal entry Dark Side on Saturday night, and it's the soundtrack is to an underground party that serves as the perfect distillation of their message. So very excited to see how they might perform that on Saturday night. We're going to go back to Danny. Danny's a big fan of this song. Danny, why do you love this so much?
I am a huge fan of this song, and for anyone that knows me, they might be a bit surprised by that because my absolute favourite Eurovision thing ever is Eleni Foureira, so there's quite a difference between the two. But I don't know what it is with this song. I just think it's really catchy, and I feel like even though it's kind of metal, whatever kind of genre it is, it's still quite easy to sing along to, which I think you can sometimes miss out on with this genre. And I'm just very excited about it. Mel will be really proud of me, I'm sure.
She will be, yeah. Marius, so we talked about the favourite overall to win on Saturday night. This is actually the favourite amongst all of the Eurovision fans. So I'm not sure how much credibility that holds at this moment because they're not the ones voting. But is there a situation where you could see this winning on Saturday night?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that whenever I hear the name Eleni Foureira, my heart bleeds. So, moving on. This is epic. This is amazing. I actually love this track. And yes, the Finns love their rock. And why not? Because they know how to do it and they do it well. And Lordi was not the only example. If you remember, was it Teras Tedoni in like 2008? Which was one of my favorite ones, actually. But this is unique in its own way. And I think that on Saturday, it will be between these guys and Teflon. But we still have to consider, the next one, Axel. We'll come to him later. But this is good stuff, definitely.
Yeah, I don't recall if we've had new metal at Eurovision yet. I sort of rack my brain and think, I'm not sure we've had that yet. Phil and Michelle, it's about time, isn't it?
Well, we all know that Eurovision's 20 years behind, so it's right on track, isn't it? It's like this is Linkin Park 2000. I should know because I was at the front of the queue for Chester Bennington. He was my favourite. But these have got, they don't look pretty, but I love the tune. I love the song. And also the man who sings it, I'm sorry, I don't know his name. He does the rappy bit and the singy bit. So, is twice as good as Chester Bennington, apparently. But I bloody love it. It's nothing like a reminisce. Danny loves this because I liked Teflon Brothers because of the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. He obviously grew up in 2000. He was like, yeah, this is brilliant. So he's going to love it. This is his era. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's a bit Linkin Park on steroids, isn't it? It's more Linkin Park than Linkin Park in some ways.
Yeah.
But it's rock.
It's not
wins,
rock. It's new metal.
Well, all right, yeah, and it's not. It's not Lordi. I mean, Lordi was more sort of your classic
cartoonish. It was a bit cartoonish.
But this is serious new metal, and it will stand out if it goes through. This will stand out amongst all the ballads and Schlager and pop songs.
I just hope on Saturday night he washes his hair.
But yeah,
because you don't want the greasy. There's nothing nice about the greasy look. I mean, even Bon Jovi doing rock, he had beautifully washed hair. You don't want greasy hair, and I think these could win if he washes his hair.
Well, there you go.
Thank you, Phil and Michelle. Finally, Steve. These are international artists. Could that potentially be an advantage for them Saturday night with the viewing public, knowing that they'd be performing internationally, and also this song would be considerably different to anything else we might get at Eurovision this year?
Well, I don't know how well known they are, but I think this is the one to beat, to be honest. The lyrics are really, really dark, though, joining the 27 Club. And we all know that is all of those rock stars in the past that died at the age of 27. It's got a very dark lyric. I think it's a very clever lyric, actually. But I wonder whether Eurovision will get out there kind of, ask for perhaps a couple of lyrics to be tweaked or something. So I think it's really good. And as our good friend Mel would say, it's accessible rock as well. There's something for everybody in this. And I think this is going to walk it on Saturday. But then I was wrong last year. So, yeah, I think it's really good. And I think Finland, if they send this, will go to the final. No trouble at all.
Thank you, Steve. And I'm just going to bring in Andy for one last comment on this. Andy, you know, this is very different, and we're likely to see, you know, we know we're going to see the Roop in Rotterdam. We're likely to see, well, we're definitely going to see Daddy, but we're likely to see lots of similar type entries that are going to stand out this year. This is a very, very different type of song, and I don't think we're going to see many new metals, if at all. This would be the only one we would see in Rotterdam. Would this be stand out enough to really make a difference come Saturday night at the end of May? And
Yeah,
rocket
definitely.
up that score.
Apart from anything else, groups like this tend to perform superbly well on a Eurovision stage. The sound just fills the hall. They always sound like, I mean, my mum would have said they can't sing, but they can sing. They're fantastic singers. They will do an amazing job. I think they probably will win, although I suspect that the last song we're going to hear might just put them to the post. Yeah, it would do really well. It would represent Finland really well because they absolutely love rock music, and it would probably come 10th, 12th, 15th. So that would be a result for Finland these days.
Well, we'd take it, wouldn't we?
Oh God, yes, we would. But we would take any of these.
Yeah, we would actually. That's a very fair point. In a heartbeat. No, you're right. Okay, final song of the evening. It's last year's entry for Finland. It's Axel. He's back. There was a lot of umming and ahhing as to whether he'd be back for Finland. He kind of came out and said probably not. Then he was. Then he wasn't again. But he is definitely in this final. And his song is Hurt.
And I ain't losing no more sleep, falling down and begging please, 'cause I've been down that road before, and I don't need to hurt anymore.
Yeah, so Axel's back again. Last year, of course, he won UMK with the song Looking Back. This song is Hurt. It's actually co-written by Kalle Linderoth, who's one of the writers of the Roops Discotheque, strangely. Yeah, so this is another fantastic ballad by Axel. Will he come back and win it all again? I mean, if we think back to the Roop in Lithuania, there was a huge amount of goodwill, and they romped home in the end. So I'm wondering whether we might see the same again in Finland this weekend. I'm going to go to Gustav first, because I have to, because he's the biggest lover of ballads going, and I'm certain that he will love this one too.
You know, I do. Last year I was so pissed that Cicciolina didn't win, so I never really connected to this song, to the last year's song. But this time there's no Cicciolina to piss me off, so this time I really love it, and I am already connected to it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful song, and he's such a great singer as well. Do we expect that we'll see similar type staging? Because last year was very dark stage with the spotlight hitting him. Oban, let's come to you. What are you expecting on Saturday night? You expect something quite similar to last year with an extremely same powerful vocal?
Stuart, I really like this one as well. I don't know what's happening to me. Yes, all my favorite top 4 is the 4 slow ballads of the night. But 7 songs, 4 of them ballads. It's a very crowded front that he's giving the fight for. I don't know how well he's gonna do. I really, and Finnish people I don't think they're not like Lithuanian people. I think they're not gonna go for just because he was taking the chance to represent the country. Let's vote for him so he can have his moment again and blah blah blah. Finnish people more reasonable, most probably, I hope, and they will really go for what they think is the winner of this 7th song, and I don't think he's the one. So he's not gonna get the free pass like Rob did.
I wonder if we think back to last year, the difference of split of votes might make a big difference this year, with 75% now being the public vote. Steve, if you think back to Lithuania, it almost felt a bit like the Roop was set up to win, whereas in this final,
they were.
we have, well, arguably they were. We have 7 great songs in this final, This is a much more of an open field. What are the chances that Axl could walk away with it on Saturday night?
I think the chances are fairly slim, to be honest. I think it's a lovely song. He's got a beautiful voice, but I think there are too many ballads in contention, and it's not dissimilar to Oscar's song, and that might split the vote to some extent. I think there will be a group of people who think actually he deserves to go forward anyway because he didn't get the opportunity last year, and I think he'll do well. I think he'll probably finish in the top 3 or 4. But I don't see this beating previous song, to be honest, because that song is so different, and I think it's so suited to a Eurovision audience. So I'm afraid I don't see this doing very well, but I like it. He doesn't have much charisma, though, does he? He's a very kind of understated type of singer.
Very
He does
understated.
have a beautiful voice.
He does. I just wonder, though, whether there was enough goodwill built up last year from Axl that we'll see him through this year. I'm going to run final comment from Andy, I think. It is a strong field this year, but there is a lot of goodwill in Axl, and there'll be a lot of people out there thinking, well, he should just be going regardless. There's an argument maybe there should have been 5 or 6 or 7 songs for Axl and Axl alone. What are the chances, in your opinion, of him being this weekend, given what you've heard so far?
I think he could easily win. The song is beautiful. You didn't play the best part, which is the end when the harmonies get going. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's got a real Irish theme to it, or a Celtic sound to it, which would be good in Eurovision terms. And I wasn't keen on the guy last year. I liked his song, but I did think he was a bit lacking in personality. But that didn't stop him being chosen by the Finnish public. And so, I don't know. He could easily win. This and Danny are my favourite songs of the whole lot. But I can easily see that Dark Side will come through and win. But it's a great selection of songs. Really good.
Yeah, it is. It's a great selection of songs. Right, you guys in the chat room have been voting all evening. What I think we're going to do is, just before we find out who you voted for, we're just going to go around our panel just one last time and ask them for one winner, one artist. We're going to start with Danny. Danny, who's going to win?
I knew you were going to come to me first, and I've forgotten the name of the group, but the metal one.
Blind Channel.
That's the one.
No worries. We're going to go to Marius next.
Although I want the rock song to go, I think Teflon is going to get it.
Teflon. Okay, let's go to ballad lover Gustav from Sweden.
This is hard because I think that the metal, whatever they are, band will win. But I really don't want it.
Thank you very much, Gustav. We're going to go to Steve next.
Blind Channel.
Blind Channel. Looks like the new metal rockers have got it. Finally, Phil and Michelle.
What do you mean finally?
That's not finally, sorry.
Well,
Next,
I think
Phil and Michelle.
my choice is Blind Channel. I think
Nobody cares why. Teflon Brothers.
I can't split you guys up like I could do that with Steve and Andy earlier. Oban, who's your choice?
Stuart, I want to say my heart is with Ita Kellemäsoitan, but my mind is with Blind Channel's Dark Side.
Yeah, thank you very much. And finally, Andy.
Oh, well, given what we know about Finland and choosing their songs, it won't be the one that everybody is expecting, which is Dark Side. So I'm going to go with, Danny? Danny, just to shake things up a little bit. Not this Danny. Old Danny.
Right,
Steve,
okay.
Steve, Danny. Do you like Danny?
I love Danny.
Which one?
Both of them, of course.
The one that is old enough.
Sorry, do I have to start
I like
muting
Danny's
my
song.
panel?
Yeah.
Right, moving on. moving on, we're going to find out who you in the chat room have voted for. And thank you very much for voting this evening. So if you remember, our panel have gone for Blind Channel with Dark Side. So you have gone for, let's close the voting, Blind Channel, Dark Side. Second place, Teflon Brothers, Pandora with I Love You. And last, unfortunately, was Laura with Play. There we go. So you've gone for Blind Channel, Dark Side. That's it. That's it for tonight's show. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. That's Finland done. So we think that Blind Channel, Dark Side will win on Saturday night. Make sure you join us on Friday night for our next live show, 9 p.m. Central European Time. We'll be previewing Melody Grand Prix semi-final 5, last semi-final. Then Saturday night, 10 p.m. Central European Time, we'll be previewing the live final and finding out whether our predictions actually came true or not. And quite honestly, so far, I think we've got it about 0% right. And then the final show of the weekend will be Sunday night, where we will be reviewing the previous night's Melody Festival at 9 p.m. Central European Time. Make sure you join us live. If you like what you see, click the like button, leave a comment after the show, and make sure you subscribe. But better still, dong our bell so we can tell you when we go live. I'd like to say a huge thank you to Steve.
Bye, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show and join us again soon.
Exactly that. Thank you to Danny.
Thanks very much, guys. Nice to see you again.
Thank you to Marius.
Hi, thank you, guys. Can I just say that Andy's been on a high tonight, and Michelle, you look absolutely fantastic. See you next time.
And talking of which, we'll say big thanks to Phil and Michelle.
Bye.
Bye.
Big thanks to Gustav.
Bye.
Big thanks to Oben all the way from Germany.
Thank you, everyone. Guten Abend. İyi akşamlar. Kalinihta to all of you. Love you, Andy. Call me after the show, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you need to call each other? Can't you kind of just reach out? Anyway, thank you to Andy.
Oh, thank you. Michelle, please can I borrow your blouse for next week?
No, it was the answer. Thank you to everyone in the chat room. Sorry your comments haven't been coming up as much as always. Sorry, I've been double hatting. It's a lot harder than you might think. However, make sure you join us on Friday, and Tom will be back, and one of us will be doing
Thank God for that.
I know. Tell me about it. Right. Until then, we will see you very, very soon. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and we will see you on Friday night. Bye for now.